Giant green Takis.
Right, so continuing snack busting, let's test that video. So before we get started on making our own real giant tacky, let's try the blue heat flavor. Okay. Tastes quite similar in flavor. A little spicier. Tastes like a tacky. Obviously, we get a blue tongue. Just like before, we need to start off making our dough. So let's grab a bowl and we'll add some corn flour and normal flour in a 60-40 mix into that. Into that, we'll add a healthy pinch of salt and a decent amount of MSG. And now let's slowly add our water to bring the dough together. And exactly like before, you don't want it too dry or too wet. This is perfect. You can see it's got a nice stretch to it. So we've rested our dough for a few minutes and we've got a non-stick surface here. So now we need to roll this out into our Takis shape. So I don't want to roll this too thin because it needs to hold its own shape, unlike the very small version. So that being said, let's put a bit more flour just on top of our surface here so it doesn't stick to itself too much. And just like the small Takis, we need to start rolling this carefully. Again, the idea here that the oil can run through it when it cooks, but we'll have to see how that goes. So we want to make sure not to close the gap up in the middle so the oil can run through and cook out the whole thing. We're going to leave this to air dry for around 15 minutes. In the meantime, let's get started on our seasoning and then we'll heat up our oil. So let's grab our deep fryer. Obviously, we need to fit our whole tacky in one piece, so this should work well. So let's get our oil into our fryer. We'll turn our temperature to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 191 Celsius. So we're up to temperature. Let's very carefully get our tacky in. So if we have a quick look, we can see we are getting a good color on it, but we're going to have to leave it quite a bit longer. So I think our color is just about there. Look at that. That is crazy. Let's place it on some paper towels and we'll add our seasoning now. So here's our real giant tacky. We're almost finished. We just need to add our seasoning on top of it now. So let's do that. Right, so here's our giant red tacky and here's a normal one for a size comparison. Look at the difference. That is crazy. So I think there's only one way we can finish this video. Giant red tacky. Overall, the flavour was really good. I wish it was a bit crunchier, but because of its size, it just cooks more like a bread than a crisp. It would have to cook a lot longer. That being said, if we do it again, I'll try something different. But overall, it was pretty decent. Solid 8 out of 10. Very cool. Yum, yum.